There are moments in this story that are disturbing enough to stay with you long after it ends. Some details are unsettling, and viewer discretion is strongly advised. Before we get into today's story, if you're a fan of the strange, the dark, and the mysterious delivered in story format, then you're in the right place. That's all this channel does, and we upload multiple times every day. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. On the morning of February 2nd, 2012, a young man pulled off a wide highway in Anchorage, Alaska, and into a snow-covered parking lot. The city was quiet, and the cold felt sharp enough to sting. He parked near a small, brightly colored drive-up coffee stand called Common Grounds. He worked there as a barista and was scheduled to open that morning. As he walked toward the employee entrance, he reached into his pocket for his key. When he tried the door, it opened easily. It was already unlocked. That didn't make sense. The person who had closed the shop the night before was an 18-year-old co-worker named Samantha. She was new but reliable, and she had never forgotten to lock up before. He stepped inside anyway. Almost immediately, he noticed things were wrong. Napkins were scattered across the floor. Towels were left out. Used cups sat on the counter as if someone had just walked away mid-shift. As he approached the cash register, a strange feeling settled in. He reached for his key, but just like the door, the register was already unlocked. When he pulled the drawer open, it was empty. All the money was gone. The coffee stand hadn't been closed carelessly. It had been robbed, and Samantha was missing. The night before, Samantha had finished her shift around 8 p.m. She had asked her boyfriend Dwayne to pick her up afterward, but Dwayne arrived late, around 8:30, because he had been held up at work. When he pulled into the parking lot, the coffee stand was dark. No lights, no movement. He stepped out into the freezing air and walked up to the window, pressing his face against the glass. The kiosk was empty. At first, Dwayne thought about the argument they had earlier that night. Samantha had accused him of cheating, and the fight had ended badly. Standing there in the cold, he wondered if she had left without him on purpose. He sent her a text message asking if she was okay. There was no reply. Even though they were fighting, he still cared deeply about her. Something didn't feel right. So instead of going home, he drove straight to her house. Her father, James, answered the door. Samantha wasn't there. The two men sat in the kitchen, calling and texting her repeatedly. After several minutes, Dwayne's phone buzzed. It was a message from Samantha's phone. The message said she was upset and needed time to think. She claimed she was staying with friends for a few days and asked Dwayne to let her father know. When James read the message, his stomach dropped. Samantha would never disappear without calling him directly. She wouldn't ignore his calls. None of this felt right. They stayed up late, hoping she would respond again. She never did. The next morning, James went to the Anchorage Police Department and reported his daughter missing. Police initially considered the possibility that Samantha had taken the money and left on her own, but the theory didn't hold up. She didn't have a car that night. The weather was brutally cold. Anchorage wasn't a city you could just walk away from, and none of her friends had heard from her. Later that day, police received the surveillance footage from the coffee stand. What it showed was chilling. The video captured Samantha inside the kiosk, working alone. She looked calm, focused, and completely normal. At one point, someone approached the window, out of the camera's view, and ordered a drink. Samantha acknowledged the order and turned to prepare it. When she turned back, everything changed. She suddenly stepped backward and raised her hands. Seconds later, the lights inside the kiosk were turned off. Samantha dropped to her knees with her back to the window. She stayed like that for nearly a full minute, barely moving. Then she slowly stood up, walked to the cash register, and removed money from the drawer. She returned to the window and handed the money to a shadowy figure outside. Moments later, the man leaned through the window, tied her hands, climbed inside, and shut the window behind him. He pressed a gun into her back and forced her out the employee door. They disappeared into the night. Days passed, then weeks. Samantha's father organized massive searches across Anchorage. Nearly the entire city knew her name. National news outlets covered the story. Strangers donated thousands of dollars to fund a reward, but no one came forward with useful information. Then, 3 weeks later, Dwayne received another text from Samantha's phone. It directed him to a public park. Taped to a bulletin board was a plastic bag containing a typed ransom note. Inside was a black and white photo of Samantha. Her expression was blank, unfocused. Next to her, a man held up a newspaper dated February 13th. It was proof she had been alive days after she disappeared. The ransom demand was clear: $30,000. On the FBI's advice, James deposited only part of the money and waited. Soon, withdrawals began appearing on the account. First in Alaska, then in Arizona, then New Mexico, then Texas. Each time authorities arrived moments too late. Finally, an ATM camera in Texas captured the suspect's car, a small white sedan. A few days later, a state trooper spotted it in a hotel parking lot. The driver was a man named Israel Keys. At first, he denied everything, but the evidence was overwhelming. Eventually, he confessed. He admitted the robbery was never the point. From the moment he saw Samantha, he decided she was going to die. The ransom, the messages, the hope he gave her, all of it was manipulation. He later admitted he had done this before. He had hidden weapons and supplies across the country, allowing him to kill whenever the urge struck. If stories like this make you realize how little we sometimes know about the people around us, take a moment to like this video. It helps more people find these stories. Israel Keys would later take his own life in prison. He never revealed how many people he had killed. Samantha's case became a haunting reminder that true evil often hides in plain sight. If you appreciate true crime stories told with depth and suspense, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and let me know in the comments which part of this story stayed with you the longest.